let me get it to, they say the stars come at night, late night on ABC. Yesterday night, I actually took a closer look at Area Father when everybody else was all gone. And I listened to his message directly. Even though the previous day we had encouraged Area Father and a couple of other persons to make a particular move in terms of holding down as long as possible. We were actually hoping that by standing down INEC, that they wouldn't have announced the result when they did. But obviously, as has been explained here, once they kicked off, they had to announce. And finally, like a thief in the middle of the night, they came, 4 a.m., announced the result. So that's where we are now. But some things developed within our late night discussions. And here is my appeal. What came out of that late night discussion was LP has to take Lagos, LP has to take Rivers. Those are financial capitals. And a movement in the background started brewing to actualize that. A Western brother came on the scene and actually said, listen, folks, if you don't get your act together, if you think you're just going to come into Lagos and take Lagos, you have something else to think about. The way that we carry on ourselves here when we address our Western brothers, South brothers, or even Northern brothers, it's not the way to go. We have to find a way to form solid alliances so that that is not just a dream, it's actually a reality. It's achievable so that we can do that. So all I'm trying to say in that commentary is that we should really be as civil as if we are in a restaurant or as if we're in a bar talking to, like I'm an Igbo man, talking to a Yoruba man, and we have a civilized conversation, not to make it seem as if I'm saying, oh, okay, come and try me in Lagos, this is my backyard. No, that's not the way to go. We have to be able to dialogue among ourselves, and we also have to be able to be truthful to ourselves. And if we so do, because it's for the good of the entire country. But here is what I have out of Peter Obi's speech. And he goes, he says, fellow Nigerians, at this point, I want to address everyone and all my followers and all humble obedience that your efforts, prayers, and votes are not in vain. It's obvious and clear that the level of manipulation of results this time is well seen with evidence of videos flying all over. I wish to say that this matter is still not over because lies can't stand in this country for long. The truth is coming and is coming with facts. Let all Labour Party voters and supporters be peaceful and be of calm and prayerful spirit. God is preparing something behind the scene. Something is cooking. In this country, Nigeria, Peter Obi will be declared the winner and sworn in as the president of Nigeria. Don't let current drama deceive you or make you feel that God doesn't answer prayers. All are the tricks of the devil. The victory that is coming at last shall be glorious and shall shake the world. This is out of His Excellency, Peter Obi.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Sho, for stepping in. If you are still available, I will still need you, but if you are not, but thank you, Igbo Basics for that that readout of the statement. Did he read the statement or he just issued a statement?
And this is from his allies, but I'm quite sure that is coming.
So he didn't come out to read the statement.
I haven't seen that read, but this is from the grapevine.
Are you sure? so wait. Did you just read something that hasn't been issued or what?
No, it's out there.
It's out there.
When it comes from certain quarters in Canada, Asanya, it is true.
Oh Lord. All right. I'll figure it out. I'll find out. I'll reach out to people.
I have seen other videos flying around, but including that of Dati with Osaloka Baze. I've seen those, but I haven't had time to sit down and scout around for the videos. But that's the route it's going. Remember they said there was going to be 3 announcements. Announcement 1, Dati and Osaloka Baze. I saw that. I didn't even look at the video.
Dati made a speech yesterday.
Yes.
And I think the summary is that he's going to court. They are going to court. Then they're just urging us to be calm. I think that's just the summary.
That is pretty much a classic message that is summarized here.
Well, they're going to court, that's just it.
Just in case, because Dr. Damages, I hear we saying, if we have all this evidence, why don't we put it out? No. That's not what we're doing here. Why do I say that? The faith-based organizations have the real result. I will not name the specific faith-based organization, but I know that they have the actual results.
How did they get it?
How did they get it? They have their agents now.
Faith-based organization.
Yeah.
Have their agents where? At the polling booths?
All over the place. They have more ability to be able to correlate things. Let me just address the one that I know. Because of a privileged situation, I'm able to know that once we saw the things that was going on as far as the correlation of the results are concerned, and stop the uploading and stuff like that, we knew that the next thing would be to start disrupting or destroying the ones that are on ground. For instance, in Rivers State, as things were happening, the person that I'm in communication with directly, chairman of the Rivers State branch, and their people, it came to a point where we have to say, okay, why don't you snap a picture of that thing that has been completed right there and then send it across? Because we know that the next thing that was about to happen, your phone was going to be taken away from you and smashed, and you find yourself in deep trouble. So we encountered that one-on-one when things are happening, we know. So I've received quite a bunch of the actual results. But we're not going to try because we have to gauge. Then when we have like 85% of materials coming in from Benue, coming in from even Aguashuku, that's why I was very happy to hear from Chime. Coming from different places, we know that we have something brewing. Therefore, at some point, you make a call.
Why don't you have them now? This. If you are blaming INEC for being ineffective or incompetent, why don't you, as a political party with agents at polling booths, why don't you have it?
The press is not the press is not the court. It's public opinion.
You have it.
You don't tip your hand. You don't tip.
No, the first. Do you have it or not?
Yes, we do.
Okay. So,
but you don't present your evidence before you get to court.
Yeah, I know. But this is the issue. Is here you have two issues. One is perception and public opinion. The public is saying that whatever happened is not enough to call for the cancellation of this election. If you put it out in public, nobody's going to say you can't put it in court. You can't show it in court because you showed it in public. We've seen so many of these papers out there on the internet. Some of them will still be used in court. So why are you not putting it out and let the world see? But you don't have to put all of them out. You can pick a state, Ekiti State, and say this is what INEC is putting out. This is what we have. This is the difference.
Yes, Dr. Damages, but in actual case, if you have your star witness you don't parade your star witness because you know that your opponent will do the best they can to even eliminate your star witness.
Okay.
So you don't bring out your star case until you get to court.
So next, on the 10 days from now, there will be another election in Nigeria. And once again, if INEC decides not to upload these things as it was going on, we are going to go through this process again. You are going to complain that INEC did not, that what they are publishing is not true. Meanwhile, you have it. Why do you have to wait to go through this? Why don't you put it up as soon as your agent gets a copy? They take a picture, send it to you, you put it up there, and people can tally it themselves and find out that they can easily find out that by their own calculation, and you can do that too, that this is the person that won the governorship of this state. Case closed. If INEC is putting up something different, anybody can check your own site.
The game will be different slightly. Come Saturday, the 11th of March, it will be slightly different. Why do I say that? Because once bitten, twice shy. This time around, as much as the time is so short, preparations are being made. And I wanted to ask a question. Mr. Scribe was reading to us the other day about civic hives. So I tried to see if I could access that site, the civic hives. Is this civichives.net, civichives.org, civichives what? Because when I tried to go to civichives.com, that domain name is for sale. So I don't know whether it's a fly-by-night operation or whether it is still there. I would like to be educated on that.
Okay, you don't need
what is the actual site?
You don't need, I don't know, but you don't need that. INEC's website is there. So you go straight to the right one. The civic one is not putting up documents. They're just tabulating things. And we passed that level now. Anyway, Mr. Show is can take over too. Let me
yeah, so Mama
Dr. Damages, before you go, the CNN, MSNBC, since yesterday, I was hoping that I could hear them say something, but we had our, how do you call it, our 5 minutes of fame. Very, very briefly, late night, around 4 a.m., 4 something a.m. before I went to bed. And they're telling us that only 27% of Nigerians of the whole thing voted. That's what they're saying, 27%. And going by the calculations of the result that INEC read out, it seems like it's like maybe about 20-something million people, 20-something. So I don't know. I haven't calculated it. Out of the 100 and something, 90-something million, that's the number of people that voted. And then CNN was reporting, and that they are very short. I don't know whether it was 30 seconds that they gave us, the whole Nigeria. They were saying that what is lacking in Nigeria, there's no social contract between the government and the citizens. That the citizens of Nigeria, they provide their own water, they provide their own electricity, they provide their own everything, and they provide their own security. That what that all boils down to is some form of apathy, where people are just saying, can we just allow us to just exist? That's in a nutshell. So that's a very serious concern, because a country where people are going through what Nigerians are going through, we just have to find a way to say it's not over until it is over.
Okay.
So, still in contact.
Igbo Basics, hold on.
Yes.
There's no good hospitals, there's neither good roads, nothing worse. The educational system is in shambles, and for once, youth are coming out to vote, and we are being disenfranchised in broad daylight. It is heartbreaking.
Abigail Samuel Spain, shared by other young people who registered to vote in record numbers in this election, hoping to reboot a deeply dysfunctional Nigeria.
I must fight for my daughter, please. I must fight for her. She must have a better life. She must go to better school. I'm tired. I'm tired. We are tired. I'm tired. I'm tired of seeing this crap.
Officials of the Independent National Electoral Commission say they're already tallying the results of the area without the missing polling units.
You know we use constitution.
Anywhere there is violence, there's no way to vote again.
But CNN saw no signs of violence at the polling units where election workers did not show up as people cast ballots just steps away.
So there will be no other election in these places where the election didn't take place?
There's no other election again. There's no other election. The election we want to do is what we've done.
The disenfranchised voters see this as an attempt to deny their preferred candidates crucial votes by the establishment. In an election without an incumbent president or a former military leader running, it was seen as a fresh start for Nigeria.
We are suffering in this country. We are suffering. It's very bad. I don't even call them leaders. I call them rulers.
Musician Banky W stood on the main opposition PDP's ticket in the Lagos area with the affected voters.
They understand that their votes are their voices and they want their voices to be heard. So when it starts to seem like there's allegedly some sort of intentional suppression of that voice, people get frustrated, people get agitated.
Nigeria's agitated youth could be a powder keg at risk of exploding if enough of them feel that their voices were not heard in the most significant election of their lifetime.
What did voting mean to you?
It's my choice and I did my best. That's what it means to me.
It's clear Nigerians are exhausted and frustrated, and they're taking back their country. I was here covering the 2019 election, and I've never seen this level of participation or commitment, Zane. And that's why you hear these words, suppression, you hear the words of disenfranchisement, and you hear the words of just demanding that the process be fair, be seen to be fair. And I think what you see there is that people will not accept an outcome that they don't think represents their views. That's what's becoming quite clear, Zane.
I mean, the fact that there was that level of palpable frustration in literally every single person you spoke to, Larry, especially Abigail Samuels. I mean, I literally could feel her anger coming through. Larry Madowo, we'll see what happens over the next few days. Thank you so much. We appreciate it.
And economic transformation, a former Nigerian presidential candidate. He joins me now from Washington. Kingsley, really great to have you and share important discussion. I'm sure you heard there the report from Larry Madowo. Let me get first your reaction to what we heard in the last, 6-7 minutes or so from former President Obasanjo, who says the election process has been corrupted. Your reaction?
Well, thank you for having me. It's disappointing that there have been significant operational failures by INEC, the electoral umpire. I must praise the young people of Nigeria, the youth of Nigeria, who have so much looked forward to this election to be able to express themselves, perhaps for the first time, and feel that they have elected their president in a free and fair election. What we see in Nigeria every 4 years, unfortunately, is that INEC claims to be ready for elections, but at the end of the day, you have very serious glitches that begin to undermine confidence. I am aware that the European Union, the American observers, and various other international observers have expressed some reservation about the transparency of the process, and I think that's very unfortunate. And now we have former President Olusegun Obasanjo chiming in, and that's quite a weighty voice indeed.
Yeah, and it's not just, people, it's not just the glitches, I should say. It's actually electoral officials not showing up, violence too. Obasanjo also said in the last 7 minutes or so, the Electoral Commission should repeat polls in locations where there was violence, where officials failed to show. What do you think, Kingsley?
I think that's a wise suggestion, and INEC might be or would be wise to very seriously consider that in order to shore up confidence in its conduct of the elections. If, as it claims, these things were simply just failures that were operational and nothing more, then they should be able to repeat some of the elections, because if a large swathe or if there are problems in many parts of the country, that could undermine the legitimacy or the confidence that people place in whatever are the ultimate results that are announced.
Obasanjo said that the current President Buhari, Muhammad Buhari, should intervene. Do you think he ought to intervene?
Well, the Independent National Electoral Commission is officially supposed to be independent.
Many people, of course, do not believe so. Yeah, do not believe that. And in a country where the institutions are weak, not strong, many people do believe that a sitting president certainly can, for purposes of national security, for example, suggest to INEC that they may take this kind of line of action.
I mean, we have so many questions. The most important one, I think, is why did the Electoral Commission get this so wrong? You know, voted blighted not just by delays, but violence, those not showing up. I mean, how much was incompetence? How much was voter suppression here?
It's a large mix of both, to be very, very honest. First of all, elections in Nigeria are run in the usual political way. The elections are a huge logistical operation. Nigeria should take a professional project management and risk management approach to running elections where, in this case, 87 million people collected voters' registration cards, but they never do that. So we see a huge failure of institutions in Nigeria, and it's always at the last minute. There will be huge operational failures, and then you'll just be having excuses. And of course, there was voter suppression. Now, we know that, you know, one of the major surprises in this operation, in this election, was the performance of the third force, which is the Labour Party, Peter Obi, and we saw the upset they recorded in Lagos, you know, but we also know that a lot of voter suppression went down in Lagos, in Port Harcourt, in Rivers State, and reports also, we have it in Imo State. So these are very significant shortcomings, and they should not be happening. The security forces came in. A lot of army people were moved into Lagos, but they were not properly positioned to be able to stop or prevent these voter suppression exercises.
Kingsley Mola, really appreciate you taking time to speak to us. Thanks.
Thank you.